Hey there, my name is Crunky. I recently had a really good run with Iron Eye here where we killed the new sentient pest Everdark version. Thought I'd do a quick recap video of what we did and why. This is us picking out our day one spot. You can see here we land on the east side here, south of that notorious Ever jail that has the field boss next to it. So we decide we're gonna kill this camp here. Put out all the trash. I take a minute to loot and look for any kind of passives on some of the white loot. This is something that I try to do with Iron Eye more than others because his passives can be so differential, make a huge difference. And I happen to get the reduction in damage drop off and the bonus to ranged weaponry in this one. That was really nice. I didn't get them all right here. You can see I got improved incantations there. Here, just picking up some trash, pissing off my teammates, I'm sure, being slow, but I wanted to make sure to take the moment to get myself set up here at the beginning. This camp particularly, along with the one that has the bows in it, can be really good for Iron Eye. Soon I make my way over here to the Grace, get to level 2, and then meet them. I think they've already started the giant here. Always picking off a little trash here on the way there, so if I can do it in 1 or 2 shots because it's just free XP. Guardian Golem goes down pretty easily, especially if we knock him over and they get the crit off, which Azil here does, or Ezzy does. These are not people I was in chat with, just randoms I was playing with. Really good guys, seems like, or girls, whatever. No improved crit there, I don't want that, as Iron Eye don't crit a whole lot. Here, didn't really have a good option, so I took the Beastman's Lightning Glaive just because it might be utility later. You never know when you need electric damage. Then we decide we're going to mark and go north. Yeah, see here, I accidentally picked this thing up and replaced my bow, and it took me a second to go, wait a minute, did I drop my bow back here? I sure did. So I run back to grab it. All right, now on by the time I get up here, you'll see we actually got Godskin Duo here, and luckily there was not a field boss very close. Here I got stuck in a crit animation. I totally went the wrong way here. Now I'm going back the right way. Luckily for me, it gave me enough XP to get to level 3. I'd love to say that was a strategic grind for an extra level, but it wasn't. Just happened to do it by accident. You can see here, this is where I'm learning, oh, this must be a tough boss because these guys were pretty good. And yep, it's Godskin Duo. So get up here early, get him rezzed. We end up having a pretty prolonged fight here. I normally wouldn't recommend fighting these guys. I'm no expert, but wouldn't recommend fighting these guys early on, but these guys seem to do okay. We were able to manage through it with some rezzes. I really like, if I'm in voice chat with friends, to, focus fire on one, like all coordinate. These guys are kind of splitting right now, and that seems to go a little slower, but it is a little bit more controlled because you have an idea of where all the aggro is coming. I decide with big boy rolling here, I better get up here and do a res. Then I eat a fire to the face from a Godskin Apostle. Almost die here. Luckily that last hit from Noble missed me. In retrospect, I should have gone in for the mark here, but it took me a minute to remember I need to do that. Try to get 2 for 1. I think I missed the fossil there with the mark. If you didn't know, you can actually slide through the both of them and hit them both each independently, get a mark. Just nice because it's 10% extra damage for anyone who has a mark on them. Now here I am skating on thin ice because I've got 0 health vials left, and I'm so dangerously close to getting wrecked by him. Apostle got my attention. All right, you see how long it's just taking to put these guys down because we're all split up. All right, now that Noble's down, you'll see we do a lot better. I drop a healing stone here just to get some XP. Drop my ult here, which I don't know why it didn't res Goffy there. He was dead before it went off. I thought for sure that I would res him. I do. I'm seeing now I do have a healing flask there. Didn't realize I had another one. I gained one somehow. If you know how I got that one back, let me know in the comments, because I've seen that once or twice before and I'm never sure how it happens and I didn't look it up. You get stuck in the animation sometimes and you just have to eat those fires to the face. It really is frustrating. You can't animation cancel sometimes, but you know, Iron Eye's pretty OP as it is, so that would only make it even better. It's a skill issue for sure. So now that we've got this figured out, I go for a long stretch here at the beginning of day one with no bow. We get an orange upgrade, but all I can choose is between 30,000 runes, which is nice, or the slow flasks, which, you know, technically is an upgrade, I guess. You get more HP, but you give up the ability to get health back fast. Can be really detrimental in some fights. Cleaning up some trash on the way. We get a elder lion here, who I think we make pretty short work of. You can see these guys are really starting to put out some damage already. Hey dog, leave me alone. Thank you. All right. So here it is, day two. I'm checking for trash here. I take this composite bow because it's technically slightly better. I think I might have been better off taking the damage, but I didn't know that at the time that wasn't going to be the best bow I had. So now we're going to make a quick trip into the blue to get our healing flask, our extra church here. This close to the line, it's worth doing. Some people in randoms go way out in the blue for stuff that, you know, doesn't always work out, but this time it did. I'm even getting greedy here, trying to see what else I can get while I'm here. If you don't know, you don't have to stop at a grace. I do here, but you don't have to stop. You can just run right through it and still get the bonus. It'll heal and top you off on all your flasks. Here I've marked on the green marker a, I believe it's an Everjail. Yeah, they're waiting on me patiently. I think they actually already opened it, because it's a pack of whatever these guys are called, beastmen from Faramazula. Whenever I get a group of beastmen like this, I like to try to get an alt on them if it's up, because it's just so much DPS right there to hit all of them for a pretty sizable chunk. Kind of helps speed up the fight a little bit. These guys are really acrobatic at times. Trying to get a crit on him there, but backstab as Iron Eye is not always the best. All right, I take the physical attack over the runes here, just because, you know, every arrow will do a little bit more damage. He marks this tower here, and as we're running by, not a tower, it's a castle, a mini castle. As we run by it, we run into this fire worm, magma worm, and I'm like, are we gonna fight him? No, we run by, we finish the little keep here, and then we go back and fight the boss. They kind of did a little turnaround there. I thought, okay, are they gonna change their mind? But they did. This game has really made me appreciate a community's silent communication sometimes. This is me checking for an extra Evergel key. I have the Evergel relic that allows me to get 5% extra XP or damage every time we get a Evergel beat it. Plus you get the bonus from the Evergel itself, which Crystallian here, not too bad. If you don't know, you can actually charge an R2 with Iron Eye, especially if you're close and you hit all of them. You get a lot more stagger damage that way, but you got to be very close so you can hit them all. Here, this is the improved range. I took that crossbow that has that. That's very helpful over the life of a Iron Eye's playthrough, because you just do more damage with every hit. Here I go check to see, okay, what do I need? I just need I need the big stones to upgrade this bow at all. Spoiler, I don't end up upgrading that bow because we don't stop, but I was just kind of like have an idea. So here's me checking, is this where you guys want to go? Because sometimes this could be a death sentence to some groups. Magma worm can really fuck a group up if they don't know what they're doing. So they're like, nah, let's do it. So here I am shooting the charged R2s. I'm gonna go ahead and do my ult here because I think I missed. I don't know how I got unconnected from him, but you see here how much damage those guys just took. Here I am just putting some arrows in him from a safe distance. Try to get closer to get my mark going again, and then I missed the crit here because those guys had already had it. And when I'm close like this, I try to do heavy R2s because it just does a lot of stagger damage. And it can be the difference between staggering now and taking another 30 seconds to stagger, depending on what you're fighting. A big mob like this too, you're gonna hit him with all your arrows if you're R2ing as well. You notice here I stayed right out of distance because I know that attack of his, that swing, his spin to win move. That was me marking the tail. So here's another stagger. Try to get close. Did I get it? No, I missed. I was just a little bit too far to the right of his snout. But you see, this group knew what they were doing with magma worms, so we knocked him out here. My upgrade here, I took the Erdtree bow, which only because its raw damage was going to be better than anything I had. You see here, this guy marked a purple crossbow he had picked up. Let me level up here real quick, and then we'll go see what that purple crossbow is. This is projectile reduced damage drop off, which is different than the improved range weapons. So those are stackable. Really good for Iron Eye. This really helps your overall damage. It doesn't feel impactful per shot, but over the course of a boss fight, it really adds up, you know. I don't know what the exact stats are, but I'm gonna guess like 5 or 10% total. But the reduced damage range allows you to continue to do impactful damage to a boss, even if you're pretty far away. This is another part of my attempt to get a decent what do they call those? Not relic, talisman. And that one's okay. If I would have had a lightning bow, that would have been great, but I don't. You end up giving like 5% damage back in physical negation, which can be pretty impactful on big bosses. But if you get hit that much as Iron Eye, you're doing something wrong anyway. Now here they broke out. They tried to go to the castle as the circle was coming in. I knew better than to do that. Rather than, you know, spam ping them, I came this way thinking maybe they'll follow me. They don't. I think it's about here I realized, okay, I'm not gonna solo this bear, so I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I'm gonna stagger him to give me a chance to get away. That's them dying at the bottom of castle there. You can see it. Actually, they weren't even at castle. Never mind. They were at a tower. They must have found a field boss down there or something. But, or maybe they were at castle and he got, I didn't see it until after he rezzed. But so I decided to take this opportunity to kill a little bit of mobs here. If you're waiting on your team to get there, you might as well kill all this stuff, especially if you're Iron Eye, because you can just kill it from a safe distance pretty quickly with this Erdtree bow. And you know, you see I'm getting 800 per. Well, if you kill 10 of them, that's 8,000 XP. That can be the difference between you having enough to level up next, or being able to buy something at the merchant that maybe is helpful, or buy a, you know, magic potion for your or whatever those blue crystals are called for your caster if you have one. We don't have one here, but you know what I mean. Now this is great for the Erdtree bow because these guys are all weak to holy. Undead or, you know, dead mobs like this are always weak to holy, and that really helps fight the boss fight coming up here, which is Tibia Mariner. Annoying mobs that it's really hard for me to target. I used to be here manually targeting with L1. Target these guys when they're on the ground because they don't register when you hit R3, right? Anyone who's fought these guys knows. Nice thing about Iron Eye is he can slide over top of the people to make sure they're dead, just like I did there. I have the relic that allows me to slide more often, and I use it mostly for marking, but it's also really good to have a get out of jail free card. If you're about to take a hit, you can slide right out of it. Now, I don't have markup on the Tibia Mariner here, which is a bad iron I play, but now it's see, I get close to Tibia here, so I can do some big chunk damage here. And this spear guy decided to get some chunk damage off me while I was trying it. All right. I need to get in there and mark this Tibia. There we go. She's marked. I was chasing her forever. Here I'm using sound cues to find her. See, it's not a ton of damage, but it is helpful. And it also is helpful for stagger to do the R2. I don't know what happened there. I was locked on her, but my R2 just shot the total wrong way. I don't even know how. Here I was thinking there was one those who live in deaths to the left because he had a health bar, but I think it just stays there until you kill Tibia. So there I took the enhanced counter attacks because that can be really helpful as an archer. You're all the time plinking arrows into enemies. What that is, if you don't happen to know, is when a monster or a boss is doing an attack, there's a window during their attack animation where they are flagged as attacking, and if you hit them while they're doing that, it's called a counter attack. So it's not a guard counter, which is a shield ability for a guardian, or if you're using a shield on anybody else, I suppose. Don't know that you would, but here I thought we might stop at this camp and fight some stuff, but they're like, nah, we're gonna go on through to the church where we'll get our flask charge, and we'll also fight Black Knife Assassin, I think it is. Here I'm doing that thing where I think my proc that's making noise is a talisman beetle, and it's totally not. Now I see this assassin out here, and I go ahead and pull him to us before I go get my flask because I'm greedy. Like, here, I'll make it mad, you guys fight it, and then I'll go get my flask. I always try to grab these bulbuses, and look, he just comes right into the church here to fight us, so. Finish him off with the ult. He decides, oh, I'm dead. I'm gonna fall over now. Here I take the improved affinity attack power because it's nice if you have a weapon damage type or you have any kind of incantation, or later on in the fight I'm using a poison bow, so that helps. What you really want for this boss is a fire weapon, a fire affinity, but I didn't happen to get it this run, so we end up having a good run anyway, so it's not all about that. I think these guys have decided what they want to do. I think he missed his flask, if I had to guess, his flask charge, so I'm gonna run down here and open up this jail for these guys, for us. Here we get a nice and easy Crucible Knight, which I think the game more than makes up for later with this crazy combo we get. I won't spoil just here yet. If my thumbnail doesn't spoil it already, I don't know. I haven't decided on a thumbnail yet. I should probably make a real clickbaity thumbnail for it. So I take the 20,000 runes here because I've already got successive attacks restore HP, and I don't think it hits quite, or it doesn't do enough meaningful impact in a boss fight. At least it doesn't feel like it to me. That I wanted the 20,000 runes. 20,000 runes at this level isn't much, but I remember I'm not happy with my bow. I'm still thinking I might want to find a fire bow. So if I end up finding a merchant that has a bow, or needing to buy a stone or whatnot, I wanted to have the money. Because I think holy on this Erd Tree bow, don't quote me on this, but I'm at this point, I know I thought this in my mind, that the Erd Tree bow is not really good against this boss because he's strong against holy. I could be wrong, and he's just like neutral, but That's what I thought. I got my flash charge, but I heard talisman beetle. I thought I'm gonna go find out what this is. And joke's on me though, because it's an absolutely useless one. Well, not useless, just very situational at best. I grab it just because, you know, might as well have it. I might throw a pot at the boss at the end, and that 4 extra damage is really going to pay off. But I have one more key here, so we run in here to the Everjail, open it up, and we get an even easier boss than the last one, the Grave Warden Duelist. He's like, this is day 2, or no, is this day 1? Yeah, this is day 2, so I'm really surprised. How many of you guys say in chat if this happens to you that you're like, wait, what day is it? After you run about 4 of these in a row, I have no idea what day it is, and I'm also like, wait, we're at the final boss already? When did that happen? Took the physical attack over 10,000 runes. That's pretty easy because it helps out over the course of the entire boss fight. When we go down here, we're like, wait a minute, where's the boss? And I run down here, I'm like, did we miss it? Nah, it was a bell-bearing hunter hiding in the bushes. And I thought, oh, isn't that some Miyazaki FromSoft bullshit right here? And little did I know that FromSoft Miyazaki bullshit was just beginning. This right here is, I gotta tell you guys, if you're playing a Raider, dropping that brick on him is actually does more damage to your team than it helps, because he can still see target and hit you out of it with his bullshit attacks.
There is no
and then Miyazaki's like, how would you guys like to fight the Fell Omen at the same time?
bent on sacking the
Now a smart group would have said, you know what, we should just leave, make the Fell Omen despawn or fight him elsewhere. But as you'll soon see, we are not a smart group. I decide, okay, these guys moved over here to Fell Omen. He's probably easier to take down and can do a lot of damage, so let's take him down first. And Bell Bearing sort of plays nice by slow walking here for a bit, but it's only temporary. We do put out some damage on Fell Omen here, but Bell Bearing is now into the melee. All things considered, we did pretty well here for level 10. You know, I've seen higher level groups get wiped out by this, and we might still get wiped out. It's not over yet. I mean, he's only at what, a little under half. I mean, he just takes all kinds of damage. You see me here just throwing out everything I have. I decided, hey, we might actually beat him, so I popped a gold foul foot. And it gives me an Erdtree bow again. So I take the enhances counterattacks to thrusting. Actually, I take the Erdtree bow here. So, no, I look to see that it's the same damage. Then I take the enhanced counterattacks. Took me a minute. I was like, wait, did I just misremember that? But so here we are, level 12. And they decide, nah, let's go to the castle, which is the right move here in retrospect. I think I wanted to go north, thinking maybe I had an Everjail key, or maybe there was another boss up that way, but this ended up being the right move. It's not as much XP, but turns out I always call them pot boys, but the pot throwing giants are up there, which are, and here I can actually see that it's ulcerated tree spirit up top. But you get a lot of upgrades. You don't get as much XP from the pot boys, but you get, you know, what do they call those? You know, reward stones that can sometimes give you nice bonuses. So here I take my foul foot again, my gold foul foot, and we've got Misbegotten in here. Leonine, is that how you say that? Liono. Fun Thundercat. Here I got the crit. So did somebody else, it looks like. And we wrecked him. He had to get up to decide he was dead first. Here I take the Reduvia just because I'm like, well, I wouldn't mind having, I should have taken the Frenzied Flame Seal, thinking about it. That would have been the smarter move, but actually it probably worked out for the best because I would have been too obsessed with using the fire in that fight because this boss is weak to fire. But he's also you know, bleed does pretty good against him. I don't know if he's weak to it, but he definitely does. If you can get it to proc, does some work. And here I get a dodge roll, but increases damage taken. Decide, yeah, that's probably better than my potency of throwing pot damage. And my fellow team here decides to throw something out here, and I thought, well, Dex is probably going to be better than improved lightning, since I don't have lightning at this point. And we go up here and have some fun with the pot boys, which anyone who's fought these guys knows what a pain in the ass they are. Get a mark, decide to get upstairs so I could get out of the way of that damage. See Goffy over there running to keep the other one busy. That's a good strat if you guys are ever fighting here. I tried to get targeted on him, but I can't, so I think, well, he's got the other guy busy, but I forgot he's probably not quite there yet. I eat that pot right in the face. But it's a good strat to I just grabbed runes here. Good strat to send one person over to just keep the guy busy, as long as he has survivability to not die immediately when he goes over there, because it keeps him from throwing pots at the group while two of you focus one down. And if you stay sort of in the middle here, not too close to that other tower, those gallows there to the right can block those pots. See, that one went next to the left of it. If you move back toward camera, like back where I am now by this treasure chest, they tend to bounce off the pots rather than land on you. So now we decide to do the same thing on the other side. And Ezzy goes ahead and runs over there to keep the other one distracted. That's a smart strat by Ezzy there. I decide to get him engaged so he doesn't throw pots at Ezzy. Get our boy marked here, and then these ads just decide to mess with me forever. Slide through his legs, but I don't quite get it in time. And that time I did. Heal up, put some hits on our boy here. We're gonna fall down. Go over here and get our reward, which is stamina is always better in that case. Recovery speed is always awesome. If we would have had a guardian in the group, I may have toyed with the idea of giving him that shield, but we don't have a guardian, so I don't have to worry about it. I come here to see what this guy has to sell, and he has not much that I'm interested in, and I'm like, no, I'm upgraded all the way with the purple bow. Again, not ideal to have a holy weapon on this boss, but at this point I thought, well, I'll have to just do with the holy weapon, hope it's enough. Get stuck on the geometry like I do in this game all the time. Here we fight Ulcerated Tree Spirit. Got the big hit. I thought he was critted there, but he was staggered, but he wasn't. Now he is. Rather than go in for the crit, I decided to just stand back and shoot. It's probably for the best because of the blues coming in. Here I've got the serpent bow I was telling you about earlier, which is just a straight up upgrade. So, because while he's not weak to poison, he's not exactly strong to it either, like he is Holy, the last boss. Here I hear another talisman. And I think, should I get this? Reduce skill, FP skill cost. Didn't really seem like it was an upgrade over what I was using. So me and Goffy, I think it is. Yeah, we decide to go to this middle ruin here. Here I am just taking pot shots at the trash just to get, you know, a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there. As you go along, it really adds up. Be the difference between whether you're 14 and almost 15, or if you're 15 and you can buy a couple things at the end. We have here the perfumer. If you are an archer, your job is to kill this page immediately, because he will fuck your entire day up. He's harder than some Everjail bosses, in my opinion. Well, it's not so much that he's hard, it's just that he can be like looked down upon, forgotten. I take the item here that gives me bonuses that I can use over the sorceries or incantations, because you know I'm not really using either of those. So here I am shuffling my weapons, make sure I have the right one. And we've got Noctua slugs here, or whatever they call these things. And Nox warriors. So we're probably going to get the Nox Dragonkin, I think his name is. Yeah. One more left. Nope, he's dead. So here we get Mr. Nox Dragonkin Soldier. I got him marked. I got one ult. I'm gonna go ahead and do my ult while his brick's up, because it gives me bonus to damage. You see the sword icon underneath my stamina bar. That's because I was close to his brick for a time. It's basically like eating a turtleneck. And you see how much damage we're doing to him right now. I'm using the heavy R2 to get the stagger damage built up. Not that it matters. This guy's really hard to stagger. Well, solo anyway. Dodging forward so I don't get hit by the leaping Superman punch he does. That latency slide he's doing is funny. All right, our boy gets down here pretty easily, eating that lightning bolt to the face, but it's overall been a really good run, so I'm not complaining. You see we're already 15. Here we get, I take physical, no, I take, yeah, affinity negation, because I know there's a lot of poison coming from this new mob. So here we are in the last boss fight, Noster Wisdom of Night. This is phase 1. If you don't know, don't run right up in there so you don't have to eat his yell. But I know I'm close enough here. I should already be shooting by now. I was messing around with the blade. I get obsessed when I have like an offhand weapon, thinking, oh, I got to do this now, but I'd be better off just shooting poison into him. Try to slide under him, but I end up eating some damage there. Here I am putting heavy R2s into him. And of course we've got a Raider there doing jumping dual R2s, so or L1, so you know he's putting in some fat damage. See me here messing with a knife a little bit. Staying out of the laser beams. Staying out of the poison as best I can. I took a little bit there, but not too bad. And Noster goes down pretty easily. Now I've played with some groups. Everybody seems to have their own way of doing it a little bit differently, but what I like to do is to find where the white butterfly is and put the big guy between us, because it seems to me like the lasers and stuff cannot go through Farticus here, or Fartis Stone Shield. So if you don't know this fight, Animus comes out of the ground, reses them to full health, and then whichever one you kill, it will enter their body, and that's the only time Animus can really take damage. Well, there's other times too, but the easiest one. I don't play Iron Eye a whole lot on this character, so let me know in chat if I'm doing anything wrong here. But I've seen some just try to shoot Animus the whole time, but look how much damage he takes right here from this bleed. So you see now that he's red, every time I take a swing, Fartis is his health bar is taking a chunk, but then so is Animus, who's the actual boss. So it's pretty neat. Here I'm trying to stay kind of at the spider's butt, and stay out of that big AoE thing he does. He'll do a left one here. I slide. I use my my mark slide to get out of it. See me looking for the moth, trying to make sure I know where to be in relationship to the moth. I don't get grabbed. So we're pumping damage into Farticus here, which is putting some hurt on Animus. You see how much health he's already taken. I'm pretty sure I should be shooting him in the face here, but I was too far away and I wanted to stay on his side of his butt anyway. If you see his butt wiggling like that, that means get away. He's about to do his yell. And then here is his big mad stomp, where he seems to go in random directions and do that AoE cone in front of him. All right, well, Farticus died here. So what that means, and Noster's down as well. So he's going to fly over into Noster. All right, I got some damage on him, but now he's going to, as he's going into Noster, I do the ult, take him out pretty easily. Well, that was my run, guys. Go down, chat, tell me everything I did wrong, what you liked, what you didn't like. I'll try to put a screenshot of my relics here at the end of the video. See ya.